CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Connor Hogg.
Good evening. Some Alberta landowners say they're absolutely fed up with oil and gas companies using their land and not paying for it. Today, several of those landowners came together to say their agreement with one particular company, Mega Energy, is done, and they're blocking further access. CTV's Nicole Weisberg has the details and reaction.
This is their lease contract. It is no more. We're tearing it up. It's done.
Landowner Mark Doran says it's time for Mega Energy to pack up and leave this southwest Edmonton property. He says the Calgary-based company hasn't paid to operate here for 3 years, even after he sent a notice for payment in January.
According to the lease contract, there's a clause in it that says if the lessor, the landowner, makes a demand to pay and the default is incurred within 30 days, if they haven't paid up within 30 days, the landowner can re-enter on the land and that tenancy of that lease shall terminate. And it did terminate. I received no reply.
Doran says by law, Mega can continue to access the site to decommission it, but it cannot continue to operate. He says last week he notified the Alberta energy regulator. The company has not complied, but he hasn't heard back.
My message to the regulator, do your damn job. And I also want to say politely to Mega Energy, pay your bills, shut down your wells, and clean up your mess and get the hell off the land.
The regulator tells CTV News it cannot comment on individual cases. However, it says if the AER determines a company has failed to comply with a term or condition of a private surface agreement, it may issue an order to comply. The energy minister says the landowners involved are guaranteed to get paid their rents until the wells are fully reclaimed, and says they should apply to the Land and Property Rights Tribunal.
It creates a situation where companies won't pay. They feel like they don't have to pay.
Doran believes it's the companies that should be paying. He is calling on other landowners in the same position to follow his lead. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
CTV News has reached out to Mega Energy for a response. We have not heard back. The province says a baby with a case of influenza has died. The latest respiratory update from the province shows a child under the age of 1 who had the flu has died. The province did not disclose where in the province the child died. 258 people with the virus have died since the start of flu season in mid-August, which is a record. A little more than 20% of Albertans have been vaccinated. The parole board has denied temporary leave to a convicted killer in a high-profile Edmonton case. Mark Twitchell was an amateur filmmaker. In 2011, he was found guilty of first-degree murder for the 2008 death of Johnny Altinger. During his murder trial, court heard Altinger thought he was going to meet a woman from the internet. He showed up at a rented garage in Mill Woods. Twitchell killed Altinger, dismembered his body, and dumped it in the sewer. The trial made international headlines and has been the basis of several true crime investigations. Today, the parole board denied Twitchell's request for 2 escorted visits to see his parents in Edmonton. The board cited the impact the leave would have on Altinger's family. City Council recently tweaked the rules for infill housing to address concerns from the public. For many, those changes don't go far enough. Some communities looking to protect property values are considering restrictive covenants to prevent infill multiplexes from being built. As CTV's Jeremy Thompson reports, that might actually hurt property values.
It was nearly a full house at the Royal Gardens Community Hall Wednesday night, with people eager to learn more about how a legal tool called a restrictive covenant could influence how infill housing is built.
There's quite an interest in it because people they just don't know what to expect with the infill.
So far, Royal Gardens hasn't seen the same explosion of new homes some more central neighborhoods have, but people here are well aware of projects that impose shadows, parking struggles, and privacy concerns on neighbors.
You can see up here the famous case of a Crestwood resident having 2 duplexes on either side.
We understand infill has to happen for the city to grow and the city not to sustain massive infrastructure costs. We get it. However, we don't want to be victims of predatory situation here.
Neighborhood organizers have drafted a restrictive covenant for people to consider signing. The legal contract between neighbors is tied to the land title. It restricts what can be built beyond city zoning requirements.
Any homeowner has the opportunity to do what they want with their property, whether it's putting in a basement suite or garage suite or signing a restrictive covenant. Councillor
Michael Jan says these are consequential decisions. Once signed, it's on your title until every neighbor who joined agrees to have it removed. And while many Edmontonians worry nearby infill will hurt their property value, he says a restrictive covenant carries that same risk.
It should absolutely meet with an independent lawyer. You shouldn't take someone's word for it. This does have a material impact on the value of your property, and a restrictive covenant is essentially limiting what you're able to do with your own property into the future.
Council adjusted infill rules in the summer and again last month. Projects under those parameters haven't been built yet, so Jan says signing a restrictive covenant may be premature. Still, it's a conversation happening in communities across the city.
It's one measure of control that we think we need to have for ourselves.
Jeremy Thompson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Acute Care Alberta has released 16 recommendations following the death of a 44-year-old man at the Grey Nuns Hospital in December. Prashant Srikumar went to the Grey Nuns emergency room for chest pains. His family says he was there for nearly 8 hours waiting to be seen by a doctor before he died. Acute Care Alberta released a list of recommendations it created in January. Among them are increases to emergency staffing, implementation of a triage physician, and better planning for ER design. It also calls for the development of an accountability framework and refinement of surge protocol triggers and other hospital processes. The interim CEO of Acute Care Alberta says the recommendations could prevent similar outcomes in the future. Matt Jones, the Minister of Hospital and Surgical Health Services, says Acute Care Alberta is working with Covenant Health and other providers to implement the recommendations. Justice Minister Mickey Amery has also called for a public fatality inquiry. Amery says new medically assisted dying legislation will be tabled next week. He says it's based on engagement sessions conducted last year with health professionals, regulatory bodies, academics, and stakeholder institutions. Amery says the results of the November 2024 public survey were also considered. He says more than 22,000 people responded.
We certainly have the intention of implementing some of the instructions and guidance we received from regular Albertans and the various stakeholders that we spoke to all across this province.
Last month, Government House Leader Joseph Scow said upcoming legislation would prohibit the use of MAID for select groups, including people whose sole underlying condition is mental illness. The federal government currently doesn't allow for MAID in those circumstances. The UCP government is looking to increase spaces in seniors' lodges. It's spending $150 million to build and upgrade existing seniors' lodges. Those lodges provide rooms, meals, housekeeping, and community support for independent seniors. More than 1,000 units are being created. The province says the money hasn't been allocated to specific new builds or upgraded projects yet. It says most will be in rural areas so people can be close to home.
When a senior's residence no longer meets their needs or is no longer safe for independent living, it is important that suitable options are available within their community.
We've heard from seniors across the province about what a difference lodge living has made to their overall happiness and, wellness. The most common statement from residents who have moved in is, "Why did I wait so long?"
Intake applications for the Seniors Lodge program is expected to open this fall. That will help determine where the money will go. 2 new recall petitions have been issued for Alberta MLAs. Elections Alberta has approved recall petition applications for MLAs Peter Guthrie and Marie Renaud. The UCP kicked Guthrie out of caucus last year, leaving him sitting as an independent. He then started the Progressive Tory Party. He's represented Airdrie Cochrane since 2019. Renaud has represented St. Albert as an NDP MLA since 2015. Canvassers have 90 days to collect the required number of signatures. 28 recall petitions have been submitted to Elections Alberta. So far, none have been successful or were withdrawn. Some traffic fines in our province are going up tomorrow. Fines for many offences will increase by about 30%. Some penalties will double. The offences include distracted driving, careless driving, and not wearing a seatbelt. Fines for speeding will also go up. For example, the fine for going 1 kilometre over the limit will increase from $88 to $176. 50 kilometres over could get you a ticket worth $1,000, up from $620. The war in the Middle East is affecting oil prices around the world. Iran's new leader is targeting oil facilities and tankers. As CTV's Alicia Fieldberg reports, that could impact daily costs here at home.
With war in the Middle East blocking a major oil shipping route, Alberta gas prices rose 8 cents in the past week and are expected to increase even more.
It looks like prices are going to start increasing in the coming couple of days.
Iran is attacking ships in the Strait of Hormuz in response to attacks from the United States and Israel. Only a handful of tankers have made it through this week. Meanwhile, the International Energy Agency agreed to release 400 million barrels of oil reserves to counter surging oil prices. Canada does not keep a reserve, but is exploring other ways to help.
Canada can contribute as being a good supporter of this release. We are in active discussions with our industry about how to do that.
But a huge amount of oil is blocked, leaving many Asian markets at risk of shortage.
This problem is 15 million barrels a day right now, and there's nothing Canada can do meaningfully to help with that.
Alberta's finance minister says just the mention of releasing oil reserves is suppressing prices.
It's no doubt a good thing. Very high, sudden prices, they may be good for Alberta's revenue in the very short term, but they aren't in the long term.
In the long term, the impacted trade route is a game changer.
The world will no longer be able to rely so much on the oil from the Middle East, and it puts even more need for Canada to step up.
He thinks options involving rail and oil additives could increase Canada's capacity in the next few years.
Working on ideas that we can implement in the near term and much quicker than a pipeline.
But expect to feel ripple effects throughout the world until the trade route through the Middle East reopens.
Potentially catastrophic if we cannot get the Strait of Hormuz open in short order. Actual shortages, if they haven't already begun, will in the very, very near future. Stop and think about everything that Asia makes and ships over to our continent.
It could mean pricier groceries, shipping, and travel. WestJet says in recent days, fuel prices have continued to rise and fares have adjusted accordingly. Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
After years of construction closed its gates, Horlack Park will reopen to Edmontonians tomorrow. Construction began in 2023, and the city says it's now in its final stages. Utilities, infrastructure, and open spaces have received some TLC, as well as a new lakefront promenade, a modernized pavilion, and new multi-use trails and a perimeter path. While the majority of the park will be open March 13th, the city says localized work will still be happening in some spots. A grand reopening will be held at the end of May. As we head into another cold snap, the city has activated its extreme weather response. The city activates that response when it could hit -20 or lower with the wind chill at least 3 days in a row. As usual, city facilities will be open, acting as a space to warm up if needed. If you see someone who does need help, you should call 211. And our temperatures may be going down a little further south. Less lucky Albertans are getting another full taste of winter. This is what it looked like in Calgary earlier today. Parts of the province were looking at 10 to 20 centimeters of snow. Alberta RCMP issued warnings over poor winter driving conditions, saying it responded to several crashes on the QE2 due to blowing snow, icy roads, and poor visibility. The appeal court is upholding Canmore's Livability tax program. The program applies to a higher tax rate to homes that are not used as the primary residences by their owners. It was brought in to try to help with the town's housing crisis. It was put on hold while an appeal worked its way through the courts. The town is anticipating legislative changes by the province that could exempt Albertans from the higher tax rate. Bannock Fest took over the TELUS World of Science this evening. An Indigenous market offered handmade crafts for sale, and 5 contestants competed in a Bannock contest. The TELUS World of Science says the idea of having a contest came from one of the center's staff. They've never had one there before. Organizers say despite Bannock's importance to many Indigenous cultures, contests aren't often held in our city.
There was a lot of interest of Bannock contestants that wanted to join in, and we didn't realize how many people wanted to join in the contest, so we'll know for next year.
Organizers are hoping to make Bannock Fest an annual event. Proceeds go towards the TELUS World of Science's Indigenous Access Fund, which helps create Indigenous-focused programs and workshops. Coming up next, calls from the family of a young boy struck by a car for the hit-and-run driver to turn themselves in. Also just ahead, the city of Calgary has found more issues with the Bears Paw water main that could mean more water restrictions in the city. And Kaylin Mitchell will have your forecast as the temperatures cool in Edmonton.
Thank you, Connor. Well, the city of Edmonton and much of the province dealing with a little March cold snap here over the next couple of days. It's a cold night ahead, headed down to around -14. The high temperature tomorrow closer to -9. When I come back, we'll take a look at when this cold air is going to bottom out and when the temperatures will head up.
The family of a Calgary boy injured in a hit and run while in a crosswalk is asking the driver to turn themselves in. The 12-year-old spoke to CTV News about the incident. A warning, the incident was caught on camera and is in the story. CTV's Tyson Fedor reports.
It's just after 7 a.m. Tuesday morning. Bentley St. John is crossing in a marked crosswalk on Taradale Drive Northeast before a white four-door sedan with tinted windows hits him, knocking him to the ground. The vehicle quickly brakes and then takes off.
I'm pretty mad about it.
St. John was taken to hospital with a broken leg.
When I got into the middle, I got my leg got ran over. And I broke 3 bones.
But after he was hit, 3 vehicles go around him in the crosswalk.
He almost has to crawl and roll out of there before anybody even acknowledges the fact that he was hit by a vehicle.
St. John is heard screaming and rolling away from traffic to get out of the road before 3 bystanders come in and eventually help.
Saw me got hit and then he pulled over, got me some warm blankets so I can stay warm.
St. John's sister Jaden says she was horrified to learn that her best friend was left stranded and in pain.
I ended up breaking down in tears. My brother is my best friend. I think the part that hurt me the most was you see him physically rolling himself away in the video and just trying to get off the road, and people are going around him.
Calgary police released images of the vehicle on Thursday. Investigators are asking the public to track down the driver by looking for this white 4-door sedan. A make and model is not known. As for St. John, he is recovering at home on the couch with his blue leg cast.
I hope this doesn't happen again.
As for his family, they have a stern message for the driver.
I guarantee you hit somebody. Stop your car.
You know we're looking for you. You know the whole city's looking for you. Just show up and take accountability.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
A new study shows emergency room visits, EMS calls, and deaths have not increased since an overdose prevention site closed in Red Deer. The Alberta Crown Corporation Canadian Centre of Recovery Excellence tracked hundreds of users over the Red Deer overdose prevention site after its closure, comparing them to users at a site that remained open in Lethbridge. CORE says it used the 2 sites because the cities have similar populations. The centre says there's been no significant change for users in Red Deer. The study also suggests that after the site closed, more site users sought treatment for opioid use disorder.
I believe that, the very people that society is trying to reach with harm reduction services like supervised consumption can be helped, and they can move towards the life that they want and what their loved ones want for them. What this research contributes to, though, is answering the question on whether or not the services we're currently providing are working as well as we thought.
CORE calls the study a first of its kind. The city of Calgary says it's found more problems with the Bears Paw water main. Workers identified valve issues along the old line and need to address them right away. Work in that section was originally supposed to be minor and wasn't supposed to start until next week. Water restrictions remain in place. The city says the Bears Paw feeder main will remain shut down for about 3.5 more weeks while reinforcement work continues. Former Edmonton Mayor Amarjeet Sohi has a new job in public relations. New West Public Affairs says Sohi has joined its team as a senior advisor. The consulting firm works with businesses and organizations across the prairies and in some eastern provinces. New West says Sohi has decades of experience working with governments of different perspectives and has an ability to bring diverse stakeholders together to find common ground. This is Sohi's first public career move since his term as mayor ended in October. Coming up, a new program in Edmonton is hoping to make it easier for kids to access sports and recreation close to home.
We know that there's barriers to kids participating in sport now, and we want to reduce those barriers as much as we can.
Friday on Your Morning, how local researchers are teaching parents physical literacy to help their kids increase activity and decrease screen time. We'll see you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
With a trough of low pressure hanging back into the province for this evening and tonight, it's cloudy periods with a chance of some flurries. Low chance around the Edmonton area now, a little bit higher down towards Red Deer. During the day for tomorrow, it's cold. It's mostly a mix of sun and cloud moving into and through the afternoon with some relatively light winds out of the east. And then as we head into Friday evening and Friday night, a round of snow is expected to develop to the west of the city and pass mostly between Edmonton and Red Deer, but could come in with some additional snowfall amounts ranging from a few to several centimeters. So taking a look at additional snowfall amounts expected moving through the rest of tonight into the start of the day for tomorrow. Very light for most of the province. Then let's look towards that next round of snow that comes in between Edmonton and Red Deer Friday evening, night into Saturday morning. And that could possibly bring in some pockets of additional snowfall amounts in the range of around 3 to 6 centimeters. Now, temperatures tomorrow morning at the start of the day are going to be cold, especially for northern areas of Alberta, down into the minus 20s, most other communities into the minus teens to start the day, down into the southernmost areas of the province around Lethbridge and Medicine Hat around minus 8. High temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow are also below averages for the first part of March. We've got minus 13 at high level in Fort McMurray, minus 7 at Whitecourt, Edmonton around minus 9, Grand Prairie with a cold afternoon around minus 12. Red Deer minus 7 for tomorrow. Calgary with a high temperature of around minus 6. Medicine Hat and Lethbridge around minus 2. Taking a look at the extended forecast over the next 5 days, temperatures continue to get colder into the weekend, but recover a little bit through the start of next week. Low chance some flurries, a little bit of freezing rain on the Monday. Temperatures look like they'll be mildest over the next several days around Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Highs in the high single digits. After that, they cool off towards Thursday and Friday. Connor.
Thanks, Kaylin. Play Where You Live is a new initiative being offered in neighborhoods across Edmonton. The Edmonton Federation of Community Leagues is working with Sport Edmonton to make sports and recreation easier for kids to access. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
2, 1. For some, the decision to get kids involved in sport can feel just like this game of tug of war.
We know that there's barriers to kids participating in sport now, and we want to reduce those barriers as much as we can.
The Edmonton Federation of Community Leagues has teamed up with Sport Edmonton to make sports and recreation options affordable and held close to home.
Essentially do something simple but ambitious, and that's get kids to play where they live. So building programs and building partnerships that allow them to do that across the Community League network.
We're a lower income community, and having access to sports at the community center is super important to us.
The partnership is still in its early stages. Evan Daum, the head of Sport Edmonton, expects his team will help each individual community league set up structured and unstructured sports and rec activities.
The last thing you want to be doing is driving 45 minutes across the city for them to participate in something that's related to sport. So we want to eliminate that barrier for people at the youngest ages so they get the chance to build those basic physical literacy skills and build the other social skills that come with being part of sport.
It'll be, let's go have some fun and just, enjoy the sport and experience the joy of it.
Sport Edmonton will work with organizations to help bring the sport and all equipment needed to local neighborhoods that want it.
You tell us what the need is, and we're going to go out and find it and fill it for you. So that's really what we're trying to do from Sport Edmonton, is to be that connector.
And we're going to meet kids from the neighborhood. Our kids don't meet each other as much anymore. Schools are different. Kids don't necessarily go to their neighborhood schools. This helps to bring and build those community bonds between parents and families.
She hopes bringing people together through sport will also enhance safety as neighbors get to know and watch out for one another. Which sports will be supported starting this summer will be decided by each community league. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Thanks for watching us tonight. For the latest news anytime, visit our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. From all of us at CTV, thanks for spending your time here. Have a good night.